those jobs that pays you a lot of money, chances are will suck the life out of you. We've got different robots, and the robots basically have got different functions, you know.
All right, in just a moment, we are going to meet the man who is revolutionizing safety in oil tank cleaning, whose company deploys robots to clean tanks at nearly the width of a soccer field at 70 meters and at the depth of 18 meters. Now, 18 meters is the depth for open water certification for those of you who do scuba diving. Or just imagine nearly 4-5 meter overhead bridges stacked one on top of the other. I mean, I can't imagine that. Diving into a tank at that depth. I mean, can you? Have they managed to do better? Let's find out, shall we? But before that, let me introduce myself. Hi, everyone. I'm Danny from Science Center Singapore. Today, we have with us a special guest, Danny Chua from CYC International. Welcome, Danny.
Hi, thanks for having me here, Danny.
And for the first time in this series, we have great questions from curious students from Dunearn Secondary. So Dunearn students, if you're tuning in, hi and welcome to our interview. All right, so Danny, the first question from Dunearn Secondary. What do you do at CYC International?
Hi, first and foremost, let me say a big hello to all the students at Dunearn Secondary. I was from Dunearn Secondary School as well, and I spent quite a number of meaningful years over there. Right?
Wonderful.
So once again, thanks for having me here. Let me answer your first question first. Well, I consider myself an entrepreneur. So, you know, the word entrepreneur comes from the word enterprise, you know, coming up with ideas, coming up with solutions to solve problems, you know. So that's what I do. I manage everything, right, from the money to the sales to the operation. Whatever is under the organization's roof, basically I just deal with it. Well, I would say if you look at what your principal does in school, it's pretty much the same. Yeah. I remember I actually had this idea. I toyed with the idea and I was discussing with my father, who was still quite active in the business. And I told him, I said, hey, I think we need to change our business model a little bit. We can't do the same as others. So why don't we come up with a robot? And he thought that it was a terrible idea. He really does. And he was like, you know, he had this thought that, you know, if it's going to be workable, others would have already done it. And I told him, I said, well, because nobody has done it before. And if we try and if we succeed, then we become leaders, you know?
Yeah.
And so in the end, I told him, I said, well, just take a back seat and then I will do everything, okay? Don't worry about it. And that's how we started.
How did you come up with the names for the robots?
When I had the first robot, I dreamt, or rather I have a dream that I'm going to have a lot of robots, and my robots will be all over the world. This was the grand dream that I had. And I realized that if I'm going to name my robots, like, you know, how Iron Man names his suits, Mach 1, Mach 2, something like that, it's going to make me forget how many robots that I have. And it's going to make my colleagues, you know, my friend, the people who are working with me, they're going to forget too, you know. And then, so I decided that, you know, I've got to start naming my robots. And of course, there are many ways to come up with names. I was thinking of naming my robots through animals. And then my robots, if you ever see it on my website, it looks like a snake. So I was thinking of naming my robots after the snake family, you know. I'll call the first one the King Cobra. The next one, I'll call it the Python, and then Anaconda.
Wow.
And then I realized that there will come very soon. I will run out of names. But, the robot looks like a snake. Then, of course, I decided to be creative. And I said, why don't I name my robots Medusa? The Greek, but the Greek legends, And then, of course, the question is, what's going to be the next robot? Am I going to name them after all the Greek gods? And how many Greek gods do I know? Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and then after that, what? I'm going to run out of names. So the first name that came across was Medusa because it looks like a snake, and it's like a creature.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Medusa, it evolves to the name Melissa. So I at this point, I just want to sidetrack a little bit, for the students, and don't think too hard about a solution. All right, it will never come. You just sometimes have got to gaze, into the sky, and then the solution will just come to you. Like I said, I was trying to figure out a name,
Daydreaming.
Yeah, like daydreaming. It's okay to daydream, seriously, And then, of course, I realized that, hey, Melissa, and if I were to name the rest of my robots after woman, wouldn't it be very, very interesting? I would never run out of names. And the whole idea also was to let people ask me, why did I decide to name it after woman? Which obviously you students have fallen right into my marketing trap.
Conversation started.
Yeah, and that's how conversation starts. And more importantly, people will never forget when they ask questions.
Right. Do you have any advice for the students who might be interested in entering an industry similar to yours?
The industry is changing quite fast, that you have got to learn very quickly and relearn the moment you finish learning, So that's how it's like. But what I would suggest is, you guys, you've got a bright future ahead, Try to spend some time to think about what you want to do in your life, What is it that you really enjoy doing? Are you the type who wants to be out there in the sun, or are you the type who prefers to work in the office, So you need to find out where exactly you like. I would think that most of you will be thinking, well, I'll get any job that pays me a lot of money. I wouldn't encourage that, frankly speaking, because those jobs that pays you a lot of money, chances are will suck the life out of you, What I would suggest seriously is to do something that you like, even though it may not pay you that well, okay? The reason is because if you can do something that you like, then you would put in a lot of time, effort, and energy. And believe me, because you like what you do, your work becomes play, And have you guys ever get sick and tired of playing? I don't think so, Somehow when it comes to play, you just find all the energy in the world to play. So if your work becomes a play, then I think you never have to work anymore. And from there, you will be able to produce results. And once you get results, money will come in automatically.
What would you call your greatest achievement in life so far? And that's the final question for today.
Yeah, you know what, guys? This is the toughest question, to tell you the truth, because I do not know what is the greatest achievements that I have actually achieved. You would think that, being the first championing the organization that first came up with these robots would have been one of the greatest achievements. But I seriously, I don't feel that it is the greatest achievement. Maybe it's because deep down inside, I felt that I haven't achieved it yet, right?
Wow.
So I just know that I have a lot more I want to do. But having thought about it for a week, okay, I finally, well, I would say perhaps the greatest achievement is the fact that I can support a lot of people by providing them jobs, and especially for my migrant workers. What they earn in Singapore gives them the opportunity to provide education for their children back at home. And because of that, people have a chance to receive education. And when they receive education, they have a shot in life, you know. This I truly believe and very, very passionate about. If they do not have education, but only food, then they will forever be stuck in that downward spiral. But they have got a chance right now because their brother, their sister, their father is actually working in Singapore, and they are able to get this money back to them to go to school. Of course, how far they can go is up to them, but at least there is this opportunity. And I do admit that I am actually very, I would say, I derive a lot of satisfaction when this migrant workers tell me that they have enough and they want to go back to see their family. And then they will pack their bags, they would buy all the stereo sets, and then they come to me and they said, thank you very much. I derive a lot of satisfaction, to see that they are actually going back to see their families, And so I think this is really a greatest satisfaction to see that not only I have given these people a better shot in life and for their family, but also I can send them back to their family in one piece. So, and this is one of the main reasons I tell you why I came up with the robots.
And thanks, friends, for watching. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel, hit that notification bell and do it now. And if you're watching the STEM Together series on Facebook, click follow now. Remember, like and share this video with your friends. Stay tuned and we'll see you soon, okay? This is Danny signing out from Science Center Singapore. Bye.
Bye. Take care.